Skirmish Season 6 starts this weekend, so what does that mean for the Living Legend boards and for our Blitz heroes? Well, with over 600 points available, there's an excellent chance that we will see several heroes ascend to LL status after this season. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. Thanks for checking in once again. Today we're talking Skirmish Season 6, specifically the Blitz events of that, and how the Living Legend points from that's going to affect the Blitz format in general, because in 3-4 weeks we'll get another update, and will we lose any heroes? I think probably we will. So today what I want to do is recover three things. First, we'll look at the points available out of this season. Then we'll do a quick, status check-in on where the heroes are at. And then finally some takes and predictions on who will L out or won't, or who's at least best positioned to do that, and so on. All right, so what I'm putting up across the screen right now is just a quick primer. So I went through Gem and pulled out the skirmish events, at least that are listed, right? Obviously, I can only pull the ones that are listed because I'm not going to go through every game store in the whole world. But there are 585 total Skirmish 6 events in Gem. 305 of those are Blitz skirmishes. The others are draft, right? So remember, we only give the points to heroes for constructed, which makes complete sense. So of those 305 Blitz skirmishes at 2 points per skirmish win, that means that we have 610 total points available this season to be awarded to heroes as we go through this. Now, what I'll go ahead and throw up right now, this is snapshotted straight from the Living Legend page on LSS's website. We see that Oldhim's pretty close. Icelander has done very, very well for herself considering how long she's been legal compared to some of the others. Aria is up there, but has not made very many points lately. And again, we don't need to go through each hero, but what I did is I took these numbers and I summarized them in this table here. And what's most important here is that rightmost column, which is percentage of wins needed. And that would basically is how many of the Blitz skirmish events would that hero need to take down in order to achieve Living Legend status. And then you will notice, of course, there's highlighting on there. The blue heroes are the ones that I expect to do better overall than the non-blue heroes. And then I have the yellow heroes in there that are also very good and I think can also pick up points. That's not to say that points won't get won by a white hero. That's not what I'm saying. I'm sure Kugane will get some Ira points on there for sure. Shout out to my boy Kugane. But overall, I do think the blue ones are what most would consider to be the in contention heroes. Right? So looking at this, Oldhim only needs 7%, almost 8% of the wins. Now, as we do go through this, I want to point out something that's very relevant towards the 610 points, right? Remember that because of the way the rotations work happening after seasons, it's very easy for heroes to go beyond the 500 point limit. We saw that with Viserai. He accumulated more than 500 when he LL'd out. We definitely saw that with Starvo, who was, I think, in the 1300s or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but you all get my point that you can take a bigger chunk of the pie than would be needed. So Oldhim won't necessarily cap out, obviously, at winning only 8% of the points. He could do far better than that, right? So Icelander, in order for her to LL out, and this is the scary thing, you see that big jump there, 25%. So Icelander would have to win 1 in 4 events in order for her to reach LL status. The reason I say that's scary, I guess if you're an Icelander main, that's probably still scary, but in a different direction. 25%, 1 in 4 seems like a lot. Because I don't think that in Blitz anything can happen, right? So I think 25% is tough. And then we see as we go down, I do have Azalea highlighted on there. Now, obviously, she's at the very bottom. She only has 2 points to her name right now, so she would have to win 80% of them. That's obviously not going to happen. But I do expect Azalea to get some because sometimes on a turn 0, turn 1, she can just throw a dominated arrow and stick you and disrupt your next turn. And you all of a sudden you're like 3/4 of your health down and you can only take 1 action on your turn or something. So I do fully expect Azalea to bring home points this season. Lexi on there as well. That new Shiver, Dominate, Ice, you can't play your game deck is really gross. So I think Lexi's going to win some of those. People can execute those. And right, Rhinar is pretty disgusting this. So again, you guys see it on there. This isn't all necessarily meant as a meta breakdown. Well, I suppose in a certain way it is kind of a meta breakdown, but that's, I don't really want to debate like tier 1, tier 1.5, tier 2 and all that. But looking at Kano winning 35% seems hard to do. He's going to win some for sure. Like there's zero question about that. But 35% of the event seems hard. So I think Kano players are going to have at least one more round with him. Kassai winning 40% of them, I think, also will be hard, especially in an Icelander. Kassai is very hard. It's very hard for Kassai to win against Icelander. So I think us Kassai players like myself, we've got at least another season out of her before I have to worry about that. Chane at 50. Chane is pretty gross in Blitz, by the way. I went 4-0 on him, 4-0 with him a couple weeks back, and kind of felt like I was cheating. He's pretty good, but again, if he runs up against Icelander, so I think 50% not possible. Rhinar at 62%, again, he's not going to hit 62% of them, but I do expect Rhinar to put up some serious win points this season for sure. He can do pretty gross things in this format where he just, comes at you for 18 with a triple intimidate or at least double intimidate or something like that. That's all pretty gross. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I suppose, just looking at who will likely go. I think Oldhim almost certainly goes. I think that he still has Icy Hammer. He can still do his thing. He's essentially unaffected. He doesn't have Crown of Seeds, but that's not new. So there's really no change to that by and large. And he still, like I said, he still has Icy Hammer. So I don't see Oldhim not LLing after this season. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get the 8% wins that he needs, right? 48 points. Seems pretty doable. The question is Icelander's 25% doable? 1 in 4 seems high to me, but let me know what you think. Do you think she can do it? She's pretty gross also. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So anyway, just a real quick one today, running down, the point. I was just curious. I looked it up and I was like, hey, I've got the data. I made the image. Let's do a video, right? So here we are. So anyway, if you liked today's video, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you disagree, what else you think, who didn't I highlight that rubbed you the wrong way. Jermai also, by the way, for you Jermai Dragon people, Jermai's also very good, but she runs up against the wrong hero. She has a bad day, so that's why I have her in yellow. We'll see. So anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. Nothing else. Go Commando.